So this is my very first YouTube video, so if it's a little choppy, if it's a little unprofessional, it's because I don't know how to do this. But as part of my 2026 goals, I really truly want to put myself out here more. I want to post more and just talk about books more, because honestly I freaking love books. I definitely love reading romance and I love reading fantasy as of right now. I definitely would love to branch out to more genres, so if you follow me along, I will probably post my progress on that on here. My goal this year is to read one nonfiction book and also one horror book, but you will mostly see romance on this channel. So if you're into that, then go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, follow, do all that stuff. I do have an Instagram, it's cassie.reads, and I have a TikTok that I don't really post on, but it's the same thing. All my handles are cassie.reads, and I post reviews, I post TBRs, I post little cute bookstore adventures. But anyway, I do have a book haul from Half Price Books. That was my very first time going to a Half Price Books. I have never been. I usually thrift my books at Goodwill, and I honestly don't have the best luck. At Half Price Books, I feel like there is a higher chance of you finding the book that you are looking for, whereas Goodwill, you most always never find the book that you are looking for. You just kind of get lucky if you do find a book that you are interested in. But Goodwill is definitely cheaper. I find books there for like $2.99, $1.99, sometimes 99 cents if I'm lucky. Whereas Half Price Books, it's more like $6 to like full price, like 50 plus, depending on what book you're looking for. But today I found some good finds. I bought a total of 4 books for myself, and I'm excited to share them with you guys. The first book that I did buy was Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I am reading the Powerless trilogy right now, and I've seen a lot of people say that the Powerless trilogy is a lot like Red Queen, but Red Queen came first, so people say that this is like the OG series that kind of inspired Powerless. I don't know how true that is. I haven't really looked into it that much besides just that, but I'm super excited to read the series because if it's like Powerless, then I'm gonna really enjoy it. And it's fantasy, by the way, like fantasy with romance in it, I think. So I'm excited, and the whole series is in the back. I got this one for $6.49, and it's like in great condition. The next book that I picked up is one that I've read literally a billion times, and I never get tired of it. I read it like once a year, and the very first time that I read it, I was 12, I remember, and I finished it, and then I read it like again right after I finished the book because I related so much to the main character, and honestly, it still is just my favorite book, and I will forever cherish it. And that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Again, this is one of my favorite books. It follows Kath, who has a twin sister named Ren, who is the complete polar opposite of Kath. Kath is introverted, quiet, shy, writes fan fiction in her room, and just kind of keeps to herself. Whereas Ren is more of like the outgoing, totally complete opposite, get to pixie cut type of sister. And the book follows Kath and Ren as they move from high school to college, and Ren seems to want some separation from her twin sister Kath, and it just follows Kath navigating finding herself and being kind of distant from Ren. And she finds love, she keeps writing fan fictions, she is living her best life but also her best anxious life. I think that's why I really enjoyed this book when I was a teen, just because I related so much to it. Like, who isn't anxious and unknowing of the world at 13, or in her case 20 or 18 or whatever. But I just remember being so excited for college because of this book. And the main male character, Levi, in this book is the best and my first book boyfriend, honestly. I'm especially limiting myself on how many special editions I buy, and finding one for $3 is like amazing, and I am so happy because again, my teenage self inside of me is like crying at this art. Ugh, this is my favorite find, and again, it was $3. I have to keep saying that because that's such a steal. Oh, and also there was a bookmark in it. Look how cute. The little 13-year-old probably did this. Oh, just makes me so happy. I did pick up one new book, and that is Graceless Heart by Isabel Ibanez. I don't know much about it besides what I read inside, and it sounds really good. It's about a girl who is a sculptress, so that's awesome already. And I think it takes place like back in a certain, like, I don't know, in a different like period where there's like war, and she's like held captive, and it just sounds like really good. It says here, love is the most dangerous magic. Like, that already has my attention and is really the reason that I bought it. So I am so excited for this book. The last book that I picked up is Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. I've been seeing this one so much on my Instagram because I actually follow her on Instagram and she promotes her books so well. It's about a group of teens that die and then they end up going to like a school of death after they die, and they have to like compete or something. Honestly, I try not to spoil books so much because I really want to go into like blind and really form my own opinions instead of like being persuaded by a bunch of other people who have already read it. So I try not to really look into books so I can just be honest and not go into it already with something in my head. But this one reminds me of the one show called School Spirits on Paramount Plus. I think sometimes it's on Netflix, but I've been watching that show and it's really good, and it reminded me a little bit about this one. So I figured I would really enjoy it and I'm excited. And this is a book of the month edition, and this one was $10.99. I forgot to mention my most expensive one was the new book, which was $26.35. But yeah, this was my half price book haul for today. Again, I will be posting content like this on my YouTube. I post stuff like this on my Instagram as well, just book related, book vlogs, read with me, TBRs, recommendations, challenges, all that stuff I really want to post on here. So if you really enjoyed this video, if you want to talk more about books, leave a comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, guys.